Yo, what's up, guys? I was just about to go to sleep, to be honest. That's why I'm wearing my blue light blockers and also this nose strip, as you guys can see. But I was just scrolling on YouTube before I went to bed, and I stumbled upon this Clavicular video, which is called My Message to Young Men. I haven't seen the video, in all honesty. I did see a few edits and clips on TikTok, so, I kind of know what it's about. But I haven't reacted to the whole clip, so I thought it would be a fun video to make just to react. Or to be honest, I'm not sure if it's fun, like, not sure if that's the right word to use, but you get my point. I think this video will be good to react to. So let's see what Mr. Clavicular has to say.
Hey, what's going on, people? I just want to come at you with a little bit of a raw, kind of talking style video, like my old stuff, because it feels like I really haven't been able to get as real with my viewers about shit in a little while. There's no chat to interrupt me. I'm just sitting in the car, kind of explaining a little bit about my philosophy on the black pill, because that's really important, is the why. Why are you doing these things? Why are you risking your health with anabolics? Why are you, dumping, all this money that you have into peptides and nootropics and this and that?
So let's talk about why he's doing this. Let's talk about why every single human being is doing anything, to be honest. Like everything the human organism is doing, whether it's a male or a female, is to attain sex. It is to reproduce. If you haven't figured that out, if you aren't like that self-aware, you are pretty stupid, to be honest. People who think that, oh, that's just surface level thinking. No, it's like it's so simple and it's the only reason why we do the things we do. My account on Instagram, my account on TikTok, my account here on YouTube, like the reason I'm so dedicated to health and everything in between is for what? Like, yes, like look, I'm passionate about this. I absolutely love, helping people and whatnot, but the core of why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I want to reproduce. Like that's what my organism wants. Every single woman, every single man out there, regardless of what they do, whether it's becoming a doctor, whether it's becoming, I don't even know, like fill in the blank. Everything we do in this world is to reproduce. We want to reproduce just like animals. What separates us from animals is that instead of, going out there and trying to become the alpha male by killing the other alpha male, like lions do, for example, or gorillas, what we do instead is we compete. Men compete with each other in the various aspects. And Clavicular, he's doing all of this because his sense of competition and his like niche is the black pill, right? He wants to be the best looking guy out there. The black pill is determinism. It's like genetics is everything, and the only way you can cope is to do surgery. That's the only thing that can save you. You could do something called a soft max, or you can do something called hard maxing. Hard maxing is surgery, and that's what Clavicular here is talking about. So when he's saying, "What do why do I do what I do?" I think he is a smart guy, so he kind of understands that he's doing it to get attention from females, but he doesn't understand that it goes kind of deeper than that. His organism wants to reproduce. And the thing is, he can do it. Like, he's not a bad looking guy. And this should just kind of show you how deep the black pill can kind of, infect your brain, if that makes sense. But yeah, let's see what he has to say, because this is just 47 seconds in, of course. I'm not trying to ramble through the whole video.
And taking this risk and having this surgery planned. So that really needs to be explained and addressed, because I see a lot of craziness going around on the internet, right? It's like, wouldn't you rather just give something your fucking all in life? Okay, so when people come on and they say, oh, Clav, you're insane for getting surgery. You're insane for doing these anabolics. Well, at least in 5 years, whether I am a Frank Tufano botch job or the next Giga Chad, at least I could say that I gave something my all.
This is the main issue, right? Young men today are so gullible. They're so naive, and they have this sense of ego. Like they think they rule the world, and they think that their like philosophy and their way of life is the only way, and it's the right way, it's the correct path, and everybody should follow that. I was the same. So I'm not saying this as a personal insult or as an attack to Mr. Clavicular. I'm just saying this as an observation. What he doesn't understand here is, he says, okay, let's say I do this surgery, and whether or not I come out as a fucking Frankenstein, or if I come out looking like Giga Chad, which is his ultimate goal, I did something, right? He's kind of saying, at least I had the balls to try this. But the big thing, like the thing that he doesn't seem to understand is that, let's say he comes out looking like Frank Tufano, botch job, right? For those of you that don't know, by the way, who Frank Tufano is, he was a guy who was, sorry, he is a guy because he's still alive, but he was pretty famous in the carnivore, health, nutrition, even like working out, health space, call it whatever you want, back in the days. Now, what happened to him was he did a jaw surgery, I know that for sure, and then he wanted to surgically improve the area of his eye, right? His eye area. He went into surgery, he came out, he looked like fucking Frankenstein, bro. Like, honestly. And Clav is not a bad looking guy. I would rate him above average, for sure. No homo. But he's still insecure. So imagine he comes out of surgery looking like fucking Frankenstein. What do you think is going to happen then? Like, Clav, this is for you personally, bro. If you can't cope with the fact that, you know, look, you think you look ugly now, which you don't. How are you going to be able to cope with the fact when you actually come out looking ugly out of the surgery, out of the operation table? Let's be honest, bro. If you ask yourself this question, I think we both know the answer to this. You're not going to be able to cope. Because right now, you're so insecure, you're so obsessed with improving your looks as if you are bad looking, as if you are ugly, but you're not. So, in 5 years' time, if you proceed to do all these surgeries and you actually do become ugly, you're not going to be able to reverse, that's the word I'm looking for, reverse all of these things. You know what I'm saying? So, instead of trying to kind of, because what you're doing now is you're trying to imagine, okay, in 5 years' time, if I, come out looking like this, at least I tried. Bro, you can't imagine. It's like you can't prepare for something that drastic. I can't sit here every morning and meditate before I go into war, thinking that the meditation will save me. Because when shit hits the fan, that's when reality hits you. That's when you get like literally bitch slapped by reality. So no matter how much you lie in your bed, you just go on day by day imagining what it would be like to come out of the surgery looking like Frankenstein, you're not going to be able to realize how it is in actuality until the moment you're actually in the situation itself. Does that make sense? Like, no matter how much preparation you do, nothing really matters until shit hits the fan. That's just the truth of it.
Well, you sit there and type your comment on my Instagram reel from your shitty wage job. At least I tried. At least I dedicated myself to the craft and was willing to do whatever it takes, right? So I really want to make this video before I go ahead and get this double jaw surgery, just to say that you guys have never done something hard in your entire life. You've never actually put in a second's effort. Now, I know I'm not the best looking guy, and sure,
Look, there we have it again. I know I'm not the best looking guy. Bro, like, you're not bad looking. He is always trying to be the best looking ever. And I mean, men by nature are competitive. So I kind of get why he is the way he is. But being competitive in the black pill is useless, bro. Because what you fail to realize is you're blinded by all of the things you don't have, right? When in reality, you have so much that I'd argue that 90% of men would, bro, they would do so much. They would kill to get 1% or 10% of the things that you have been able to acquire when you've built your like social media platform, right? Because social proof, it comes with a lot of things, a lot of benefits. One of them being women, of course. So when you're sitting here talking about, oh, I'm not the best looking guy, the mindset that you have is that the grass is greener, but it's not.
There's all these looks maxers that look a lot better than me, but what did they actually do? What did they actually accomplish? Because while you were out doing random bullshit in high school, I was sitting there on my computer dedicating myself, researching the best way to maximize myself. So it's not craziness. It is not anything other than obsession and dedication. So that's what I'm going for here. I'm not going for, the normie bullshit lifestyle where you're sitting in a job that you hate with no girls that even want to look at you. I'm not interested in that.
This is the thing. He talks about like obsession and dedication, and this is one of the things I do agree on. I think men should have a purpose. I've talked about this a lot. I think being obsessed and being dedicated to one's craft is important. However, what he fails to realize here is that he could still be obsessed and dedicated to the black pill, but he doesn't have to do these surgeries. He can just be knowledgeable in the field of black pill and produce content because he would be so successful just doing that because he is already successful. When he goes to the next step and he thinks about actually doing these surgeries, that's where I can't agree with what he's saying.
And if that requires a huge risk of, facial disformity from a surgery going wrong or some sort of health complications from, blasting anabolics, then so be it. Because the life that people are living in 2025 is absurd. It is egregious. Most people won't even have a girl look their direction for years.
This is also true, but like again, the grass isn't greener, bro. Like, look, I also come from a background where I had zero female attention, right? Because I was so fucking unhealthy and fat and ugly, obviously. After that, after I improved my health, first and foremost, I have no issues with females. Now, can I get a supermodel? No. Do I want a supermodel? No. Like you guys in the black pill community, what you fail to realize is that there are more things that matter in a relationship than looks. And the reason why you guys don't understand this is because you've probably never had a girlfriend. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not trying to insult you, but this is the truth. You've probably never been with another human being, a female or a woman in this particular scenario, because you'll understand that yes, her looks is nice, but after you have had sex with that woman, and she can't even fucking talk to you like a normal human being, and everything she knows is Instagram and TikTok, you don't want to be there, bro. Like, you want somebody, at least if you want, a monogamous relationship. If you want a monogamous relationship, looks definitely matter. But you guys, as I said, you fail to realize that if she has the best looks out there, but she's so brain dead, and she doesn't even know how to form a sentence. She doesn't know anything about the world in and of itself. It's useless. And this goes both ways. Like, this is not just a woman slandering video. This is about men too. Like, as a woman, if you're looking for a man and the man is not competent, I would say for women, it's even way more important to make sure that the man is not only good looking because he has to have resources. Like, how is his good looks going to improve your life? Yeah, some people in the black belt community will say, yeah, but he looks good, so he's going to get way more chances in life. That's not how the world works, bro. Like, honestly, that's what I'm saying. You guys haven't been able to experience real life. And what's scary to me is that I've come to realization that you guys, I don't even know if you go outside these days, because if you went outside and you could see how human beings interact with each other, that will kind of disprove the black pill for you. I'm not saying all of the things in the black pill is wrong and it's not true, because obviously the genes being, look, like determinism and genetics, of course it has some truth to it, but you guys are missing part of the puzzle. And I'd argue it's so much more that you're missing, right? When it comes to relationships, you don't just want a good looking woman to give you attention, but then you guys can't even pair bond. Then you guys can't even build something. Does that make sense?
Months, right? 2/3 of men 18 to 21 haven't had sex in over a year. All right. This is insanity, right? The top 20% of men on Tinder are getting access to 80% of women.
This is true, and this I agree with. And this is where my ideology, like I don't want to label my ideology something, but it's closer to red pill. Not the cringy red pill, not Andrew fucking Tate and those people. I'm talking about like Rollo Tomasi and reading the actual books of the red pill. Not watching some podcast, right? Because the top 20%, even 10% of men are sharing most of the women. And women are fine with this. This is what men don't realize. Men at the bottom, they don't realize that women are fine with sharing men if that specific man checks all the boxes. Because let's be honest, women, they crave more boxes. Like they want men to fill more boxes than we do as men. What do we want? Don't be promiscuous, be good looking, and be a good partner, right? Like the third one is even arguable, and the second one is subjective because looks are subjective to some extent. Like obviously there is something called um, objective beauty, but even then, like everybody's not gonna agree that that woman right there is a 10 out of 10. Like I might think she's a 7 or 8, while you might think she's a 10. So this whole thing I agree on, but once again, the black pill is not the answer to this. It's not like these women are going to chase you because you are good looking. If we actually look at the data and if we actually look at the profiles that are getting swiped on, I would say that because look, this data, when it comes from dating apps, you have to take it with a grain of salt because obviously pictures can't really tell how the person actually looks. There are a lot of catfishes out there, but the 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 stats itself is kind of accurate. And it talks a lot about how the world is built up these days. Now, let's just get back to the thing that I was about to say. The black pill is not going to improve your chances of getting swiped on. And even if, who cares? Like, literally, who cares? You guys don't understand how these dating apps work. Women have dating apps mostly for attention. Even if she swipes on you, it's not 100% guaranteed that you guys will meet up. Okay? So the black pill could be good for improving your looks, but then when you realize, oh, I did all of this and I'm not even, getting the attention, or I'm not even getting the dates that I want. Because if you're getting looks, let's say you're getting a lot of looks when you're at a venue or even on Tinder, you get a lot of likes. If you can't live up to that, if you can't actually meet these people online, in real life, and it's just online and virtually, bro, it doesn't really matter.
And you're talking about I'm the crazy one for wanting to do double jaw surgery? How about it's crazy how hypergamous women have become and how evil society is?
Yes, once again, Clav, I agree with you 100%. But once again, the black pill is not the answer to hypergamy because you know what hypergamy means. Hypergamy doesn't mean that she's looking for the best looking male out there. She's looking for the best male or the best mate. Not looking, best male, as in how much can he provide for me? Looks obviously matter, but like social status, compatibility, like everything. There are so many more key points here that you're missing, and I don't get it. And yes, society is evil. I'm not arguing against that. We were told our lives, oh, looks don't matter. Women, they care more about personality and whatnot. I get that, bro. Like I was also in your shoes to some extent. I think every young man out there, once they hit the age of like 20 or after the first heartbreak, they realize this. They realize that, oh my god, like the world has been lying to us. And the same applies to diet as well. Like this video is not going to be about diet in particular, but you get my point. Like the whole world has been lying to us. But black pill is not the answer, Clav. Honestly, I know that you're smart enough to understand this.
Right? And the answer to this is looks. The answer to this is the black pill. We see it all the time on social media. These giga chads coming on. They've got nothing to offer other than their looks. They post a video for 10 seconds. Boom. They're viral. They're famous. Okay?
This is, look, let's say, for example, you are a giga chat, because I know like what type of people he's talking about, and I kind of know what type of videos he's referring to as well. what he's referring to is some videos you can see a good-looking man just walking past a couple, right, in town, and the woman might look and turn her head and be like, "Oh my God, that guy is so handsome." At least that's what people think she is thinking. Obviously, we don't know what she's thinking. We can just assume. What he doesn't realize is to catch people's attention doesn't mean that you can retain the woman itself herself. Like, it doesn't mean that you can form a relationship with her. It only means that you can get her attention, and that's basically it. Maybe at best you can go up and start a conversation, but if you just have good looks and you're autistic as fuck, like you can't even form a sentence, you can't even speak to a woman, you don't have game, so called, it's useless. It's useless because your looks will only get you so far. Good looks will only get your foot in the door, but after that, what's going to carry the rest of the life that you guys are going to have together?
This is the world. This is the way of the world. So you are absolutely insane for not doing everything in your power to ascend. It is on you. You have to do it now because plastic surgery, looks maxing, it is becoming more and more mainstream. And before you know it, every one of your peers around you is going to surpass you. So you have to start now, not tomorrow, not the next day, now. Start blasting those steroids and stop asking what could happen if I hop on steroids, what could happen if I get that surgery, and ask yourself, what could you miss out on? What kind of love, what kind of of salary, what type of every single type of improvement possible in your life could you be missing out on, right?
And oh my God, this is like there's so much more that I want to say, but I can just go back to what I said a couple of minutes ago. Looking better is not going to solve all of these issues, bro. Like, I don't understand. I'm starting to think that people who are so deep into the black pill that they reside in a different universe. Okay? I have never experienced or seen a scenario where you have one competent guy or woman who is ugly, and then you have a stupid fucking guy or woman who is hot, get the job, like the good looking person getting the job over the smart and competent person. I've never experienced that, bro. And when it comes to love, love is bullshit. There's no such thing as love. Love is a fucking concept made by us humans. Love is a feeling. Love isn't something that's sustainable. You can love things, but falling in love, falling in love is a fucking Disney and Hollywood lie. It's not real. That feeling that people talk about, it fades away after 2 months. Love is for two specific individuals in this world. It's for women and it's for guys who haven't had their heart broken. Once you get your heart broken, you gotta understand, okay, love doesn't fucking exist. I'm not some petty guy. I'm not, angry or cringe, or as I mentioned, I'm not even red pill. But we gotta accept the fact that love does not exist, bro. It doesn't exist. Like, when it comes to falling in love, if we took away Disney, if we took away Hollywood, if we took away every form of media that we are consuming, we would not be able to tell what love is. Okay? If we go back to the most natural tribes in the world, all of the men, they are polygamous. They literally have several women. Usually, the more status you have, the more women you will have. Just as it is with, our society. I'm not against a monogamous relationship, by the way. I just want to make that clear. But I'm just talking about this video in particular. He's speaking as if looks will give him love. Like, bro, that's not how it works. Because as I said, love itself is something that's flawed. It's a feeling. It will come and go. No matter how good you look, the feeling of love will not always be present. And you most certainly won't feel true love just because of your looks.
So that's kind of why you just have to dedicate yourself fully. It's not a matter of, if, it is a matter of when you want your life to start improving, because there is no question. If you improve your looks, you improve every metric of your life. So it is an imperative that you guys start doing this shit. I'm not the crazy one. You guys are going to look back on me telling you this shit. And 5 years from now, when everyone has double jaw surgery, everyone has full facial implants, mogging you, and you're going to say, wow, that Clav guy, he really was right about this shit. How crazy the world is. as more and more of these dating statistics come out, as more and more of you experience real black pills throughout your interactions in real life, you're going to realize how right I was about this shit. And it's becoming more and more in your face every single day with social media, with hypergamy. So the fact that you guys are, more eager to ascend, more eager to change your lives is shameful. It doesn't make any sense. Okay? You should be on your computer for hours researching, creating yourself a regimen. How can I ascend? What can I do? Not worried about what kind of side effects could I get from this? What could go wrong? How about what could go right? For once in your life, just take your risk and dedicate yourself to something, okay? Because you are going to look back on your worthless, miserable life if you are not attractive and think, wow, I really ruined everything. I really screwed this up by not improving myself, right?
If this were true, bro, then we would not see all of these Chads suicide. But we do. Like, there are so many good looking people out there, in particular men, because male suicide is higher, of course, that off themselves. That disproves your whole black pill ideology. Looks is not everything, bro. The mental health aspect, if you have deep trauma and if you are malnourished as well, the good looks will not improve anything. Okay? They will not fix the root cause of anything.
So get your ass on a cycle. Get your ass to an imaging center. Get your head scanned. Everything you need to do to looksmax. Do your research. Do every little thing imaginable to improve your life. And you will start having everything go right for you just immediately, right? You're going to start getting promotions. Girls are going to start coming up to you. But I understand fully that not everyone will have the same. It's not a level playing field, and it never will be. But if you could just start now, you will have that much more of an advantage than anyone else. It doesn't matter where you are, where you're starting. You can still surpass the majority of the population, but it has to be now. Start looks maxing, right? Because this shit really, we're watching it unfold right before our eyes. It is becoming more and more mainstream. We've got single moms sitting in their cars, just like I am right now, promoting Ozempic, right? Everyone is about to be 10% body fat with hollow cheeks. You're about to see the biggest reverse in obesity statistics in history that we never thought was possible without the conception of GLP-1s. So enjoy these last 5 to 10 years of slaying while you can with being lean, right? While you have that advantage over other people.
The thing about Ozempic and all these GLP antagonists is that, yes, it helps you lose weight, but that's the key word, weight. Nobody said it helps you lose fat. This is muscle and bone density as well. If you look at a person who has lost weight using Ozempic, they look awful. They look horrible. They look ugly. They look scary and unhealthy. Human beings, we sense when people are unhealthy. If you are ugly, but you're at least healthy and vibrant, we can sense that, okay? Whereas when you go on Ozempic and all of these coping mechanisms and drugs,